we talk about farmland projects, what are they? Before we begin, let us understand what are these farmlands. So, farmlands are agricultural lands where you are able to grow crops, where you are able to cultivate crops. And when you talk about farmland projects, there are developers who are able to give you these farmlands within a project. So, you can have your own farmland and you're able to cultivate your crops there. So, when we talk about these uber luxury farmland projects, there are basically developers who are willing to give out amenities within that project, and these properties are maintained by these developers. So, you don't have to worry about the farmland in the first place because a farmland is a very big necessity to have. It's a very big task to be able to handle, right? From maintaining the crops to watering them to making sure they're disease free and pests, all of these things are taken care of by the developer in many different ways. So, how do they do that? There are multiple technologies that are being incorporated within these farmland projects. So, you have so much AI boost coming in through these projects where you have AI sensors within the soil so that they can check the moisture content of the soil, and then the drip irrigation systems that are being placed. So whenever the moisture content is not up to mark, these AI sensors will detect that and the drip irrigation system starts. So the crops are maintained throughout the year. Then another thing is there are also drones that run on AI systems where they are able to check, because what happens is that when one of the crops get a disease, they are able to spread very violently throughout your across crop culture, which will give you a lot of losses throughout. So this ensures that your crops are well maintained without you having to worry about the entire system.
Now let's come towards more of the, like whenever we are buying a property, what else do we want other than assurance and appreciation, right? These are the two factors which are really, really important. So coming on the assurance part, I will slightly link it to the legalities which are present for the farmland projects. So, as you would already know, that a lot of big developers like Shobha, Prestige, and all these people, when they come out with a project or let's say like a society, right? So they need to have this RERA approved. They have this whole process which is RERA approved. That is your Real Estate Regulatory Authority. And for farmland projects, what differ here is that they do not have any such authority which are covering, any of the like or checking any of the backgrounds of the project or the legalities as per se. But they have something different than that. They have all these sales deed which they have. Then they have encumbrance certificate. They do not get a completion certificate because these are not projects which where they are basically building like a 12 or 13 story tower and giving it to you. So they don't have that, but they have other legalities backing these type of projects. Also, if we talk about how much construction is allowed per land, that also depends on state to state. So, in some states, let's say in Karnataka, in Bangalore specifically, I would say they have 5% of construction allowed on a agricultural land. But when you go towards the border of Bangalore, like on Tamil Nadu side, you have 10% allowed. Also, apart from that, if you see that what kind of dimensions are present, so they have farmland starting from 0.25 acres and 0.5 1 acre. Then they also have 2 to 5 acres and then more than 5 acres, which also is present. These are also categorized by different names. So when you come in the range of above 2 acres of land, you can also call them farmland estate projects. So these are not really your regular projects. These are more towards the uber luxury side of projects, and these are huge farmlands which people buy. And as per what was already said about the